On Friday, September 6th in San Diego, California, the American Football League began its 9th season of play. The opening game matched the explosive San Diego Chargers against the league's youngest member, the Cincinnati Bengals. This contest marked the birth of a new team and the return of a great old coach. 60-year-old Paul Brown, a member of the Hall of Fame and once the stern taskmaster of the Cleveland Browns. He gave his rookie-laden Bengals a high mark as they passed from the kindergarten of preseason to the first grade of regular league play. "I told them they did a good job," said Brown. "They did their best, and nobody can ask more."
Cincinnati's best came in the first quarter, the first time they had the ball. Quarterback Dewey Warren and fullback Tom Smiley combined for Cincinnati's first pass completion. On a reverse, flankerback Warren McVay raced 28 yards to the Charger 23. Paul Robinson, the fourth member of Cincinnati's all-rookie backfield, glided through the San Diego defense for 14 yards. On the next play, Robinson turned left in and out-sprinted two Chargers to the end zone. With 5 minutes elapsed in the opening quarter, the surprising Bengals led 7-0. The Chargers, still resting on the laurels of their tremendous preseason victory over the Los Angeles Rams, looked disorganized in their first series, yet still managed to move the ball into the range of Dennis Partey's foot. Partey's field goal cut the Bengal lead to 7-3. Late in the first period, the Chargers regained possession, and under the veteran leadership of quarterback John Hadle, they began to assert their superiority. Halfback Dick Post and fullback Brad Hubbard jabbed at the vulnerable Cincinnati flanks, setting up the young team for the knockout punch. Dick Post, number 22, delivered it with a beautiful weaving run that carried 48 yards to the Cincinnati goal. Post's run did more than put the Chargers into the lead. It exposed a fatal weakness in the Bengal defense, the inability to contain the Chargers' wide running attack. Dale Livingston's field goal tied it up at the half, but the Chargers had assumed control of the game. In the second half, Sid Gilman's wide-open offensive machine shifted into high gear and rolled over the Bengals. Dick Post, last year's Offensive Rookie of the Year, roamed through the scattered Cincinnati defenses for steady gains. Post was the game's leading rusher with 140 yards in 16 attempts. Bull-like Brad Hubbard, number 26, contributed some booming runs and plunged 1 yard for a touchdown that put San Diego ahead to stay. Cincinnati became overly conscious of Post and Hubbard, quarterback John Hadel teamed with split-end Gary Garrison for several key pass completions. Big play offense is a term that is often used to describe San Diego's attack. Last season, they scored 13 times on runs or passes of longer than 60 yards. The man who puts the word big in the Chargers' big play offense is number 83, Willie Frazier, a 6'4", 230-pound game buster from Arkansas A&M. In the second half, Willie wrecked the Bengals with 2 touchdown receptions, and the Chargers coasted home with a 29-13 opening day triumph.
Well, Paul Brown came back to the big time, and his Cincinnati Bengals went down fighting. Their loss was expected, and despite the old master's guidance, they fell victim to the same disease that plagues all expansion teams: mistakes.
Dropped passes, fumbles, missed assignments, and inexperience combined to bring an end to several Bengal drives. But youth can be tolerated if the future augurs success. And the success of an expansion team is built on rookies. Men like number 18, Paul Robinson from Arizona, a smooth-running halfback who was Cincinnati's leading ground gainer. Rookie Tom Smiley, number 45 from Lamar Tech, proved his worth as a receiver as well as a runner. But an expansion team is not entirely rookies. Cheryl Hedrick, number 69, a 10-year veteran obtained from the Kansas City Chiefs, made more tackles than anyone else on the field and adds experience and poise to a youthful defense. Cincinnati's defense gave up many completions to the Chargers, but their lack of experience was counterbalanced by their fierce desire to hit. Fletcher Smith, number 31, is the ringleader of Cincinnati's secondary. His pesky play harassed San Diego's receivers throughout the game. In fact, the Chargers' fine flanker, Lance Allworth, number 19, was hit so hard and so often by Smith that he lost his temper and was ejected from the game in the fourth quarter. Maybe Allworth was lucky. The Bengals' future opponents might lose more than their temper.
In Buffalo, the Bills started their season with an all-rookie backfield, which for a while looked as though it could move at will through the tough Boston defense. But then the Patriots' defense stiffened. Despite the absence of league-leading rusher Jim Nantz, Boston came back strong on the running of veteran Larry Guerin and a rookie from South Carolina State by the name of R.C. Gamble. At the start of the game, though, a Boston victory seemed highly unlikely.
On their very first series of downs, the Buffalo Bills' all-rookie backfield produced its first hero when fullback Ben Gregory broke a Boston tackle and sprinted 35 yards to the Patriot 33. On reviewing Gregory's run, we can see that the Bills caught number 85, All-Pro middle linebacker Nick Bonacani blitzing and burned him by sweeping to the outside. Once past the scrimmage line, Gregory had only one man to beat, but number 23, Darrell Johnson, momentarily saved a touchdown. First-year quarterback Dan Dara then combined with rookie flanker Haven Moses to move Buffalo to the Patriot 12. With a 3rd and goal on the 6th, the Bills shocked Boston with an end around for the first score of the game. On the Bills' touchdown, Dara deceived the Patriots like a seasoned pro, then handed the ball to tight end Paul Costa, who followed number 62 tackle Dick Cunningham to a touchdown. It was Buffalo's first touchdown of the new season, but it was to be their last one of the game. After a series of brilliance, the Bills' rookie backfield soon exposed their inexperience, and Boston was finally able to beat them. But there was the promise of a punishing fullback, like Ben Gregory, and the poise of quarterback Dan Dara from William & Mary, who subbed for injured Jack Kemp and exhibited a strong, accurate arm. Number 25, graceful flanker Haven Moses, Buffalo's number 1 draft pick, grabbed 6 passes and instinctively knew what to do with the ball once he caught it. But finally, the Bills' mistakes betrayed them. A player moving before the snap canceled an important drive and nullified a beautiful catch by Albert Dubinion. The failure to firmly secure the football caused the Bills 3 costly fumbles. When in striking distance, Dara couldn't deliver the game breaker, and Boston intercepted 2 of his errant throws. It was more than Dara's inexperience that beat the Bills 16-7. It was the magnificent Boston defense, led by number 65, Houston Antwine, that was most responsible. When Antwine was checked, Nick Bonacani led a daring defense that blitzed Dara with gleeful abandon. After Buffalo's first touchdown drive, the Boston defense repeatedly held firm, and Boston went in at halftime trailing only 7-3. Willie Porter's second-half kickoff return signaled the pattern that the Patriot offense would use for victory. They would run to win. On Boston's first offensive play of the 3rd quarter, the Patriots showcased a rookie of their own when halfback R.C. Gamble sliced off his right side and raced 45 yards to a touchdown and a 10-7 lead for the Patriots. Two field goals by Gino Cappelletti ensured the Patriot victory, but it was a swift trio of large and mean setbacks standing in for injured Jim Nance that made it all possible. Number 22, Gene Thomas, along with number 40, Larry Guerin, did most of the early running. But the herald for a surprise Boston win was a little-known rookie back from tiny South Carolina State College named R.C. Gamble, number 13. Gamble knifed his way through a stubborn Buffalo defense for 90 yards and Boston's only touchdown of the game. In a game dominated by rookies on both sides, Gamble made the fewest mistakes, caused the most excitement, and made opening day for Joe Collier's Buffalo Bills a sad one.
For the most exciting game of the week, let's go to the Astrodome, where the Houston Oilers, champions of the Eastern Division, collided with the powerful Kansas City Chiefs.
The weakest phase of the Houston Oilers offense last year was a decidedly inferior passing attack. Against the Kansas City Chiefs, they wasted little time proving that at last they had found the receivers to complement their strong-armed quarterback, Pete Beathard. On their very first series, tight end Alvin Reed, number 89, and setback Hoyle Granger, number 32, found large holes in the Chiefs secondary and moved Houston to the Kansas City 14. Switching to his running game, Beathard attacked the right side of Kansas City's mammoth defensive line, and halfback Sid Blanks swept inside the 10-yard line. On the next play, Hoyle Granger, the AFL's second leading rusher last year, sliced through a huge hole in the Chief line for a touchdown. In a game that might well be a preview of the AFL Championship in December, Houston led Kansas City 7-0. After a Kansas City field goal narrowed Houston's lead to 4 points, quarterback Pete Beathard continued to successfully pick apart the Chiefs' pass defense, and on 2 passes to Alvin Reed, moved the Oilers to within range of a touchdown again. Then on the most decisive play of their first half, and perhaps the game, Beathard made a fatal mistake when his intended pass to Reed was intercepted by the Chiefs' Jim Kearney. Instead of leading 14-3, Houston relinquished control of the game to the Chiefs. In the second period, and in fact for most of the game, Kansas City quarterback Lenny Dawson passed infrequently. But when he did, his primary target was split-end Otis Taylor, number 89, a large, powerful, and graceful man who led the Chiefs to their first real scoring opportunity. With it 4th and 1, Kansas City fullback Wendell Hayes, number 38, smashed over blocker and tackler alike for the Chiefs' first touchdown in a 10-7 lead. Late in the first half, Dawson relied on basic, crushing power of football. Blending a reception by Taylor and the running of Bert Cohn, number 23, Dawson moved the Chiefs inside the Houston 10. Then Dawson resorted to an old but always effective bit of deception, the end around. Speedy Otis Taylor raced by the stunned Oilers to give the Chiefs a comfortable 17-7 lead at halftime. The Chiefs, who played in the first Super Bowl in 1966, had been a dismal disappointment last year. They seemed to lack direction and purpose, and finally surrendered their crown to the Oakland Raiders. In response to a new year and a new challenge, the Chiefs seem to have recaptured their power and promise of 2 years ago. Through the third quarter and part of the fourth, the Chiefs continued to dominate play. Wendell Hayes and Curtis McClinton, number 32, ripped through the center of Houston's defense. The specialty team, sparked by number 1, 5'6" Nolan Smith, repeatedly gave Kansas City good field position. Last season, Houston led the AFL in rushing, but in this game, the Chiefs' defense limited them to a meager 55 yards. Kansas City's monstrous front line made it painfully apparent to the Oilers that if they were to move the ball, it would not be by running. Ernie Ladd, number 99, led a ferocious pass rush, and on several occasions he tossed quarterback Pete Beathard around like a rag doll. The Chiefs' defense set up Jan Stenerud's fourth field goal, and with 11 minutes to play in the game, Kansas City led 26-7. In 1967, the Oilers became the first pro football team ever to vault from last to first in one season. Midway through the final period, they began to demonstrate the fire and spirit that so characterized their play last year. On a quick pitch out, Granger circled left end to the Chiefs' 16. With 8 minutes remaining, Beathard connected with rookie Mac Hike for a touchdown, but Houston still trailed by 12 points. 2 minutes later, Beathard and Hike again combined for a touchdown. This one carried 59 yards, and Houston was back in the game. The Chiefs were unable to move the ball, and the inspired Oilers regained possession. Beathard hit Sid Blanks down the middle, and only a great tackle by swift Willie Mitchell prevented a touchdown. With the ball on the Kansas City 16 and trailing now by only 5 points, Houston seemed on the verge of an amazing comeback. But Emmett Thomas smashed the Oiler hopes with a clutch interception. With 1 minute, 40 seconds to play, Kansas City had only to hold on to the ball for victory. But Houston combined a tough defense with a judicious use of timeouts, and once again had the football with less than a minute to play. When Beathard threw complete to Ode Burrell, Houston's chance for a fantastic come-from-behind win again seemed possible. But with 21 seconds left, a gallant bid for victory died in the Chiefs' end zone when Beathard's fourth down pass fell incomplete. Houston's comeback was thwarted, and Kansas City claimed a 26-21 triumph.
So this, the first week of AFL competition, was a week that saw 3 teams waste away early leads and eventually suffer defeat. The Bengals, the Bills, and the Oilers all scored first, but ended up last on the final tally. In pro football, it matters not who scores first or last, but most often. I'm Charlie Jones.